boy, I mean, I should be doing this every second of my life. I mean, somebody to solve a burial problem or one that they have no idea. And if I have that capability, I mean, it's almost like immoral or illegal not to do this.
Right, right. No, I hear that. But you also need downtime.
Yeah.
I'm glad that you're there. It's such a good thing, such a blessing. Uh,
This episode of Grounded in Maine is sponsored by ESG Review. ESG Review magazine is published quarterly in February, May, August, and November, and is available for free in print and digital formats. ESG Review is devoted to environmental, social, and governance strategies, technologies, and investments. ESGreview.net is updated every Wednesday with 8 new stories and is home to feature articles, news items, and more. Visit esgreview.net to stay informed and help us spark the collaboration and awareness needed to develop sustainable economies and communities around the world.
There's a place where there's no trouble, no more pain, no more struggle.
Grounded in Maine podcast is an open conversation about how we show up for the world. I started this podcast out of a desire to learn new ways to be sustainable because the word sustainability is big. It can be overwhelming, and I just wanted to learn, different ways to try to be part of the solution and not feel like it's too late. So I'm talking to people who are doing different things and learning so much. I hope you are too.
Hi there. Thank you so much for listening to Grounded in Maine today. My name is Amy Fagan, and my guest today is Matthew Lesko. Matthew is going to talk to us about some government grants to help us to access programs that will help us to build up our systems and be able to afford things that will make life better for us. So, Matthew, thank you so much for being here today. I so appreciate this.
What's the name of the podcast again?
Grounded in Maine.
Maine. You're not even in Maine.
Not even in Maine, but I'm grounded
Another
there.
sham on the internet. God damn it, can't trust anything. The lady's not even in Maine.
She's not even in Maine, but she's saying she's in Maine. Yeah, my heart's in Maine. That's for sure.
Okay. Oh, that counts.
But Matthew, your persona is fascinating. What you're doing is it's a beautiful thing, honestly. I attended one of your live events today, and it's beautiful the way that you're just offering this help that has been there. I keep hearing that there are grants available, there's literally money sitting on the table, and we just don't know that it's there to take it and to make use of it.
Here, I'm going to show you. I showed you some of my favorite graphs, but here's another one. This shows you our economy in the United States and how it's made up of. And so for 2023, this is how much is in the government that is given out and nonprofit. This is how much is capitalism takes from it. So capitalism is only 60% of our economy. See, everybody, I used to think until I looked at this stuff that had to be big. Most of it, something like that, right? Not at all. And this is the community part of our world, and the government and nonprofit, where we help each other. Capitalism is like if your neighbor has a fire and you want to go over help, you have to ask for their credit card first. That's capitalism.
I'll help you,
right?
but you have to pay me for it.
Exactly.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, so the little blue section. So you guys, if you're listening, you might want to check out the YouTube part so you can see this.
But it's what's amazing. You see, we think everything is capitalism. So if we're in trouble or want to do something in life, well, we go to capitalism. And capitalism to me is Google. That's what that's about. They're just there to make money.
Mhm.
They have to make money to pay their advertisers and stuff like that. So we go to Google and say, I need money to pay rent. So you go to Google and you'll put in rent grants or something like that and get roughly 276 million websites. You're right. And there may be a few in there that you could use, but you'll never find the goddamn things. And more importantly, you're going to call some of these if you contact them, and none of them will help you for free. And you'll think, well, I need money.
I need money. Yeah.
Yeah. And so you think you need money to solve your problem. But no, you know, if you just stay over here, you don't need money to solve your problem. But we don't train you to do over there. We
Yeah.
train you to do this.
Mhm.
Yeah. And so people can't solve the problems that can be solved. But the problem is the rich people know this stuff. So, I mean, in my mind, and it's a biased opinion, they're getting more than their share.
But you've got so much experience in that.
Yeah.
So, can you tell us how you got started doing this? Because you're working with not the rich people right now.
No, they're boring.
But you did this for how did you say like 35 years?
50 years now.
50 years.
I have an MBA in computers. I started a software company that failed back in the 70s. I'm a computer science professor. And then I helped rich people. When you fail, you become a consultant to rich people. They'll spend money on anything.
Yeah.
And so I was doing research for them and in Washington. And they were mainly wanted to buy and sell companies. That's the kind of information they wanted. And I would go around Washington getting libraries all over Washington. So you have a topic like energy. Well, we have a separate library just for energy. This is before the internet. And so you had to go to libraries. That's where it all was. So I'd go and get all this information. And then I'd be talking to the librarian, like I was doing a program for a client on Maine potatoes. See, Maine potatoes. See, we're getting right back to you. Now you're sorry you left Maine. And for a rich client was investing in Maine potatoes, and they wanted to know about something. I was trying to get up the market data and programs or whatever. And the librarian said, "Oh, you want to talk to Charlie Porter? He's over on the second floor in room so and so." So I go up the elevator and go over the second floor and knock on Charlie's door, and I sit there, and he's got like a master's in potatonomics or something similar.
Pseudonomic.
And a PhD in studying this potato stuff for 20 years. His wife's sick of hearing about him. The government forgets that he's there. And I come in really needed because I'll get paid if I get some good stuff. And my problem was not getting the information. It was getting out of his house, out of his office. He's been studying this stuff for so long, and just I get all these reports and things that he just spent millions of dollars doing. So I take all this information, put my name on it. Nothing in the government is copyrighted. See, and I thank Charlie. My first New York Times bestseller was a book I copied from the government printing office and just changed the headlines. So yeah, I flunked English in college. See, I at least went to college. And I tried to find that English teacher who flunked me. See, I told you it didn't matter.
So you went back and you said, look at all this information I found.
Right. Yeah. And that, but boy, I said, why doesn't everybody know about this stuff? So I stopped helping rich people and then wrote books about it. And then to sell books, you really have to use the media. So I learned how to be an idiot and an asshole because they're the people who get the camera.
Mhm.
And sell it for free. And then people stopped buying reference books. So I had to find a new way. I knew the information was still good. But and now with the community thing we got, I mean, it's the best thing I've ever done in my life. And I've never been happier in so many ways. And it's just great. And I don't see an end to it. I figure about another 10 to 12 years at least. I keep seeing people like Jimmy Carter lived to 100.
Right.
And so there's life in it. And that to me is, if you're helping people, that grows your heart, and that's how to keep alive keep doing this. We're somehow, maybe capitalism makes us feel we must be selfish. In fact, they think we all are, but we're not. There's 40% of us that are not selfish at all. They're giving money away, but nobody celebrates them. And that's too bad. So I'm just trying to spend the rest of my life educating people about the great stuff this country has, because it's easy to, we're all fucked up, no matter your country, your person, or whatever. We all got bad shit about us. And so you can concentrate on that, or you can concentrate on finding the good stuff. So if you run into bad stuff, well, you just go to the next door. It's sort of like a bad date, you're just not going to date again. Find another date or anything like that. You have to keep going. That's why, if anybody, if you go to this one website, I think is a good place to start for this, that you don't have to give me money. You go to findhelp.org. You go to that website and you put in your zip code, and then it'll show you how many of these people are in your zip code. And there'll be thousands and thousands of them.
Right.
That all they're there is to give you money. But people don't. They'll go over to Google, and because it's flashier or whatever. And see, they get money to get your money. So they spend most of their money is spent on marketing, trying to figure out what to say to get you to give them money.
Right.
The other people don't. The people who give away money, they don't try to figure out what to say.
They just want to help people.
Exactly. That's all it is. And they don't spend their time figuring out marketing. So you have to find them.
Yeah.
Really what it goes down to. You have to do your marketing to find them. And so you have to realize, and the way to do it is not on the internet. You got to use your phone. Because on the internet, there's too much stuff you won't understand. And you talk to people.
Right.
So all those thousands of people that are in your neighborhood, now I think we found like 2,000-3,000 where you live, are all there to help you with financial problems. And sure, some of them are assholes and whatever, but you just keep calling and asking them for help. You don't ask for money. The key to this, because a lot of them don't have money. So if you ask for money, oh, I don't have any, and you lost it,
Right.
You want to say, I need help with paying something, with doing something, whatever it is. And because they're helping people like you all the time. So they know of other things besides what they have to help. And a lot of times they don't have money for that. So you have to have them expand their mind about what they know about the problem you have. And then that's the key to anything. You want to sell anything, you want to do anything in life. It's a numbers game. And you just can't knock on one door and expect to hit a gold mine. It may take you 10 or 20, and it's better on the phone, because then you become a human. See? And
Totally.
it's hard to flunk a human. It's easy to flunk a robot.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And so when you're saying you're talking to these people, you're asking for help, not necessarily money, because they might not have money, but they know somebody who
Exactly.
can connect you or something like that. That's beautiful. Oh my gosh. That's more valuable than money, really.
It is. It is. And that's the important thing. We're not trained with any of that. We're trained to write code.
Everything has a number. That's
right.
What
Exactly.
But so you, Matthew, for 50 years, you were helping people with money find more money.
Yes.
But now you are helping people like me to get help or
I'm looking for
money,
people
funds, or
who have chickens. And that's what I specialize in. Just people with chickens. Because that's a growing segment of our population. So I see it as a growth for my business, and it is concentrating on chicken grants and people who have chickens. I don't know how far I could do that.
well, but I mean, so now it's a little bit close to the heart, because you were saying that your son is doing a homeschool.
Yes, oh, definitely. No, he's off the grid, man. He is. And the other one is knee deep in the existing government. So it's really fun, and they'll love each other. It's fun. That's how we're all screwed up. And that's the
doing the best we can, man.
All right. It seems like, oh, yeah, I'm thinking about how to be an asshole today.
Right, for sure.
Yeah. I mean, it's stupid. That's why I think love is helping somebody do what they want to do. Yeah. And just to help them do whatever they want to do because they struggled and trying to figure that out themselves. They don't know, they're scared and they don't know the answer and say, oh, no, that's dumb. What the fuck are you doing that for? No, that's not loving. Yeah.
Right. Well, and when you say something like, and I've had this happen before, like I'm not quite sure where to start, like where I'm supposed to look, and someone's like, go to Google. And then what you're saying,
Yeah.
Google's not always
Yeah, exactly. No, no, that's death because it's either you're going to get something because they're so good at selling on there. So I've been in marketing a long time, and 30, 40 years ago, you used to test an idea, what would make you money, and it would be by direct mail. So you take a month or two to figure out if it worked. Now you could test 1,000 ideas in a half a second,
right, for sure.
and so it's easier to get your money. That's why it's a game you just can't. You have no equipment to deal with, and so it's better just to stay away and talk to organizations that end in .gov or .org, because anybody else has an ulterior motive that you can't trust. I mean, maybe they are trustworthy, maybe they're trying to help you, but it's not worth it, and you're in a swamp where most of them aren't.
For sure. Yeah. And so how you have so much information in that head of yours, or just information available to you. Because when I was on that live today, I one of the things that stuck with me was someone was asking about burial costs, like help
Yeah.
with burial costs. And so you were like, hold on just 1 second, and boop, 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 and
Yeah,
then you put in a link for them.
exactly.
And that's amazing. Like that's just like you're like a dictionary, sort of a
Well,
dictionary.
it is. I mean, that's why.
You're like a human Google.
Yeah, but I don't. And that's why I feel, boy, I mean, I should be doing this every second of my life. I mean, somebody to solve a burial problem or one of them, they have no idea. And if I have that capability, I mean, it's almost like immoral or illegal not to do this.
Right. Right. No, I hear that. But you also need downtime.
Yeah.
I'm glad that you're there. It's such a good thing, such a blessing. Because there are so many people, like you said, we just grew up knowing that capitalism was just how things worked. Like everything costs something,
Right,
and when you're struggling, you're just struggling, and
right.
that's your lot in life, and that's not necessarily the case. You
The
just
rich people know better, though. I mean, look at Elon Musk following Trump around, man. He's already got $5 billion from the government for his business, and he wants more.
Right.
And that's what capitalism is. I thought it was do-it-yourself things or whatever. What happened to that?
Right. Yeah, that's for sure tricky.
We're all hypocrites.
Very possible. It's very possible we are. But I mean, I'm so grateful that I found you on Podmatch. So thank you, Alex. But I'm so glad that you're there so that I could find you. And I just think that it's such a helpful thing. And so you have so much information, like I said, in your head at your fingertips available to you. Like you just know where to look. And so you're not charging an arm and a leg for this information. I mean, you just gave out findhelp.org. This is a big one right here. I mean, I found 2040 different options for help in my zip code. Um, and so you can check
Why
on
are why doesn't everybody know this? See,
exactly.
this proves to me I've done a shitty job for 50 years.
Well, but it wasn't all for nothing.
Oh no, I enjoyed
No,
it.
this
Every
is,
minute
and
of
now,
it was valuable. Yeah,
and now you get to use that information to help
right,
other people.
right.
It's just a journey, right? Like you
Absolutely.
spent all that time and learning how to do it, and now you can share it with other people and make sure that the poverty rates don't keep going down.
Right. Definitely.
My goodness. But so how did you there I mean so there was a switch with you. Like you were taking care of the
Yeah.
local people and then, something snapped with you and you were like this is stupid. What am I doing?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't know what I guess it's always been there, but
Or was
going
it like retirement? They kicked you out and you're like, well, I need to do something.
no, I never thought about retirement. Always sounded stupid. Where I live, people like my father work for so long and then retire and go to Florida and play golf for the rest of your life. And I mean, why would I want to do something I'm shitty at for the rest of my life? And what a waste of humanity. Yeah. There's so many
I mean, I've
things.
talked to so many people that like as soon as almost instantly after retirement, like something like health wise went wrong or something,
Yeah, exactly.
their house burned down or something horrible, just like,
Right.
oh my gosh, like I just stopped working.
Yes. Yeah. No, I don't understand. And it's not working, it's contributing. And I think the problem, most of us don't find what our best talent is. So, because if we find that, then that's not working. You know, if
Mhm.
you're doing something that is really from your heart and you think it's important to do.
Right. And then work is just so unimportant at that point. Like, what am I doing, wasting my time doing this?
Exactly. Yeah. And you could do that. And I think the magic is if you find a way to find that in you and get paid. uh, and I think it's easier now than ever because of the way you don't have to work in a factory like we had to before.
Right.
All selling air to each other.
Right. Right. Oh my goodness.
Mhm.
Well, so I mean, I don't want to keep you too long, Matthew, but I'm so grateful for this. This is just it's such valuable information. And so I want to just mention you have a membership,
Yes. It's
uh,
lesgohelp.com.
letsgohelp.com.
Yeah, and that's $20. And if you hate us, we'll give you money back. Never fight, give money back. Anybody for any reason. You don't have to sign 15 pages. I mean, all that stuff. I mean,
Right.
would you make their mother do that, if they were
Real.
oh,
Yeah.
that's terrible. Yeah.
And so and you had a live today. You had two lives today. Is that right?
Yes.
And so he'll like go on live and you can type in questions that you have like I said, someone said I'm looking for help with burial costs.
Right.
You can just shoot that in and he'll give you an answer, like give
Exactly.
you a link to look into. And one of the things that I remember you saying is that person might not have the exact answer, but you ask them if they know who you can ask.
That's right.
And if they don't have the answer, you just call the next person.
Right. Exactly.
And another thing that you said is to call,
Yes.
not email,
Human.
not
This is your lifeline
mouth to ear,
to help.
mouth to ear.
Yeah, human.
Yeah, human to human for sure. And so how is that the best way for someone to find you? Let's go help Doc.
Yes, let's go help. And if they don't want to join, then on my YouTube channel, I got like 8,000 videos or something there. You can learn a lot. Matthew Lesko, that's on my YouTube.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure. And are you on the socials or no?
Yeah, I don't use them much though. uh, yeah, I think I forget what they are now because we keep getting bounced off, and like I can't even get on my original um, Facebook thing. Somebody had it maybe 20 years or something, but they're convinced I'm not 18. I'm 81. Maybe that's what fucked them up. And I send them everything. It's just too hard to bother.
That can't be he can't be real.
Right. Well, a lot of my stuff sounds like a scammer. See, and that's what happens a lot too. But,
Well, no, people aren't just offering like
oh,
help
you're
for
gonna
money,
get $1 million.
right?
I haven't doing that.
Gosh.
Uh,
So if I say the word sustainability to you, Matthew, what does that mean to you?
oh, I got a new jacket that color. Uh, yeah, it's a no.
You had me. I was like, wait, are you talking to me now?
Gotcha. Well, I mean, it makes sense to me. I see how lazy I am sometimes. My wife carries a bag every time, and boy, I'm bringing a plastic bag home every day, and she's about ready to divorce me, I think. But it's slowly sinking in. Um, and I just think the help on all this is the young people. The help on anything is the young people. Old people found out what worked for them and don't want to change it. I went through all that trouble trying to learn how to live in this shit, and you're going to change the rules on me? Fuck you.
Well, and it's just so interesting because the older generations have been through tougher times,
Yeah,
for a lot of the
right.
and so they have skills and they have knowledge that, you know, a generation younger than myself did not have that struggle. So they
Right,
didn't have that, they didn't need, like, home ec in school and stuff like that. Like, just like life skills.
right.
They grew up with Google, which I did not. But
Did you take home ec?
a little bit, yeah.
I was talking to my sister today, and she's 3 years older than me. She graduated with a degree in home ec.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. My ex's mom did as well.
really. Huh?
Aunt.
Uh,
His aunt did.
one of those.
She had a home ec degree. But I think that there's value in every generation. But I think that, I don't like to say that the older generation is just lost because they are so stuck in their ways. I think there are some things that they're just like, I lived hard and
Mhm.
this is just easier.
Yeah.
And that's, I get that. But there are also things that are
I see, at least for myself, is that, yeah, we're living long, and the tools we learn to survive don't work anymore.
Mhm.
And you can't rely on them. And because you had some success, it's harder to unlearn. Somebody new to the game they're just looking for the future and where the opportunities are. Some
Right.
old like me, I mean, it took me so many years to get rid of all this stuff that was successful because it doesn't work anymore. Oh no, must see it. No, keep trying to make it fit, and it won't. And it took so long to unlearn all that until I come up with this community thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, but here you are. I mean, I can't say it enough. I just think it's a beautiful thing that you're using all that experience and all that knowledge to help people.
Oh,
And it's not just like three people. This is
yeah,
like
yeah.
thousands of people, I'm guessing, that are in your
About
community.
12,000 now. And but your words are so important. I mean, that is the food for my heart,
Yeah. I mean, you're touching all those lives, because those people need help.
right? We all do. And if you could help somebody else, there's nothing else better to do in life because it helps you. It's selfish. It's a selfish fucking thing to do, is to help people. We're
No, but
just,
it feels so good.
I know it feels so good.
Oh my gosh. Well, Matthew, I so appreciate this. I'm I'm just so grateful. I'm so grateful that our paths crossed and we got to chat. And I am going to put links in my show notes for the podcast, and so that people can access that and not feel so just stressed and not feel so stuck.
There's help out there. It takes some effort. That's all. And that's why I see the community helps it, because people help keep people in the game, and they have some,
Energy.
yeah,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
it's important.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for all that you do. And I will, like I said, I'll put the links in the show notes so that people can
Just
access this.
don't wait longer than 10 years, because I'm not sure about after
Yeah, for sure.
that.
Oh my goodness. And so thank you so much, Matthew. I hope that you have a great evening. I'm going to.
I just want to take a second to thank my guest again for speaking with me and sharing such great information. I love having these conversations with folks. I also want to thank Buzzsprout for hosting the podcast, for Jane Bolduck and her music genius, for Becca Coffron and her award-winning artwork. And thank you for listening. I appreciate that so much. Please check out the show notes for any links and extra information. And if you would like to follow my guest and find out more about them, I'm sure they would love the follow. And if you don't mind leaving a rating or review wherever you're listening, and just help to get this podcast in front of new eyes, that would be amazing. I would really love that. And feel free to reach out to me on the socials and let me know what you're thinking. And if you would like to be a guest on the podcast, please let me know that. I would love to have a conversation with you about sustainability. All right. Thank you again. I hope you have a great rest of the week.
There'll come a day, my mama told me, when I find love to have and hold me, a heart that's strong and so sincere. Just tell me, how do I get there from here? Oh, tell me, how do I get there from here? 'Cause here and now I'm so far down that mercy's bound to find me. We'll find a way to soothe the sickness. We'll heal the hate with sweet forgiveness. Wages of war will disappear. Just tell me, how do I get there from here? I wonder, how do I get there from here? Yeah, 'cause here and now I'm so far down and mercy's bound to find me. When that state of grace has finally found me, well, there'll be music, ooh, and good friends around me, yeah. And I'll just smile through happy tears and wonder,